There it is.
And action.
Reveal. Yeah. Ooh.
I think, are we live yet? I think
Cheers.
we're live.
I don't know if I can cheers you.
Cheers. Yeah, we can do that.
Probably, yeah, let's do it. There it is.
You know, if you go looking in on the YouTube channel here for us, there's not like a lot of like pre-recorded videos. There's only a handful of them, but there's one. We had this one guest. I met this guy at this NFT party in like Hollywood, you know, on the Sunset Strip at some like hotel. It was like it was a weird party, you know. And I was like feeling a little bit out of place, but I met this dude and he was like kind of a hustler and was like, you know, kind of knew everything and stuff. So I was like hanging out with this dude and all of a sudden I really had to pee, you know, like I had to pee so bad. And I was like, God, this guy won't stop kind of talking. I'm interested in everything saying, but like, I gotta, so I was like, I eventually cut in and I was like, all right, I gotta pee. He's like, you gotta pee. Come on, let me show you. I'll take you or whatever. I'm like, okay. So like, he's like walking me down this hallway and it's like, you know, there's rooms and stuff. And at the end of it, there's this room that he walks me into. And there's like this bed with neon blue lights. And there's like these old people sitting like on the couch with this other red infrared light thing on them. And they walk me in and they're like, oh, welcome. And I was like wearing like a Santa sweater or something. And like this lady was like, I was hoping you were going to show up or whatever. So I was like, what is going on? You know, I'm totally just like, what is going on? So all of a sudden I'm like sitting down in this red light next to like three people in their like 60s plus or whatever. And this like one guy's next to me is like talking, telling me about the light. And there's somebody like the scientist who's behind this light, who's literally actually behind the light. And he's talking about it and I can't really see him. So it's like almost like, you know, like, I don't know. What am I thinking of? Like, it's like reverse of like Brando in Apocalypse Now, you know, where he's in the dark. It's kind of like that, where he's in the dark and I can't see him. It was very similar to that when he's like talking about like all this magic science stuff about how these lights like are resetting my DNA back like 2,000 years or something like that. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And then I drink some little blue juice thing they give me or whatever. It's just like this crazy like stuff. But then like the guy starts talking about like how his whole project of these lights, he's like figured out how to put frequencies into light. So like the light is the message to deliver these frequencies, you know. So getting back to the YouTube channel, he had this infrared light when he came on the show, and he was like holding it up and he was like, hold your cup of coffee up to the light and, you know, taste it first and then taste it afterwards. And it tasted much different. Like, so, and everybody in the audience was doing this. And you can go back to the video and try it yourself, because it's like, he said it'll work at you know, at any time or whatever off the old, you know, the recorded video or whatever. It's the same frequencies or whatever. So it'll change like the structure of your food or drinks or whatever. So you can like hold your stuff up to the screen and do a little test, see if it works. Totally crazy science.
I'm almost not buying it, because you can't really emit infrared through a laptop, right? Or a monitor. I don't think you can.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seemed to work. Most people seem to be like, oh, wait, there we go. We got one person. We got our buddy Dangus talking about it here.
Dangus.
The coffee was lit. Yeah.
I guess. Hey, yeah. If it worked, I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
Skeptic, man. I'm skeptic on that shit. Like,
yeah,
I'm an audio engineer, and people tell me all day about like frequencies and this and that. And it's like I know the actual fucking science of it. It's not like, I don't know. I think people look for like some deeper meaning in all of this and blah, 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 like binaural beat frequencies and like, don't tune your middle A or middle C to 440, tune it to 446. Like, people are full of shit, man. And people just do these things and want it to be something like, yes, everything in the universe reverberates at a very specific frequency. Your skull, your jaw, your ear canals, your organs, all of that stuff. The brown note is real, you know, but it's not necessarily like a one size fits all thing for people, because everybody's body sizes and structures are a little different. So I don't know, like, I guess with infrared and coffee, I'd want to try that. Like,
you should definitely try it. Like, I mean, I might not be explaining it accurately either, too. You know, like, I mean, the layer, like the history of like how we got to where we were when I was in that room was like, like setting up crazy like rooms full of like water to make current, like doing all kinds of Japanese scientists in Japan, like all sorts of crazy. It was a long road that he had taken or whatnot, and he's kind of an eccentric weirdo scientist guy too, you know what I mean? Like it was you'll see in that if you check out the video. But so is that where you started? Was that in audio?
Kind of, yeah. I started as a musician actually. When I was like 12 years old, I got my first electric guitar. When I was 14, my band started playing out, and I started doing live sound with a buddy's PA. Like he had built like a custom built massive sound system that like filled his whole garage. And we like I got hired at like 14 to do sound for events. So I was like that 14-year-old kid who like looked like I belonged, and like I could go and order drinks at the bar at 14 and all this shit. And then like started to get more and more gigs. Played in a band until like I was 22, and then I went to college. I got a degree in audio engineering, and then I started touring. Actually, like I toured for 3 years straight in a mobile recording studio, and got to see some wild shit. But yeah, then from there, I like started getting into film, getting into video. I kind of discovered through like shotgun working on like random videos that I was really good at video editing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to give you my whole resume unless you want to hear more.
No,
But like,
but I mean, like there's something too, like, because I started in music. Well, I started as an actor, then like got heavily into like DJing and music and all that stuff. But
yeah,
like that kind of music making really lended to editing. I felt like editing a like video and stuff like that. And like
yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to edit if I didn't have like music experience first.
Oh, seriously. It's
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, and I mean, I started in music videos, so if you have a sense of musicality, it's like a huge step that a lot of people don't get. Like, what I think one of the most underrated talents of people who are musically inclined is their sense of time and timing. It's
Yeah.
really like it's obvious to a musician, but to other people, it's an important skill to have. Like
Yeah.
drummers are like a whole new type of breed of person altogether with that. If they can just pull out like without a click track and play. I don't know if you've seen Whiplash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, are
Yeah.
you
I've seen. I
pulling or
love that movie.
dragging? Are you pulling or dragging? It's like some people just have that great internal clock, and some
Yeah.
people are like way off.
Yeah, I got lucky enough when I first started making like producing electronic music. The first dude that I worked with, his name is Andy Hay, and it's like he has this ear like nobody else's ear. And like the stuff that we made, every time that I was in a club and playing it, if there was like any other like top-notch like high-level DJ or sound person in the room, they would always walk up to me and go like, what the hell is this, like
Yeah.
when I made stuff by myself, I never got that response or whatever. It was like night and day, like I mean, this guy's gone on to win like Oscars like
Oh,
for
wow.
doing sound for movies and stuff like that. And yeah, but like at the time he had already like worked for different record labels and had like many different recording sessions and studios. But like I never met somebody who had that skill, like had an ear like his. Like it was just amazing. And I didn't realize it at the time when I was working with him, like because I was so new to like kind of making music that I just thought like, oh wow, he's really good. Like, but I didn't know he was like the best dude I was ever gonna come across. Cause like still basically I put him at the highest level of like insanity. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's weird. Like the skills of like a really expert audio engineer, and people who are dialed into that, like perfect pitch is a skill that you only really know about if you're musically inclined or an audio engineer, and there's no way. Like I couldn't do it. It takes like either a lifetime of training or like serious discipline or actually, there were a lot of visually impaired students at like college that went with me. Both of the visually impaired students had some degree of perfect pitch, and perfect pitch is like someone farts in the hallway and you're like, oh, that's 255 hertz. It's an F minor. Like you just like you can't,
Yeah.
like, to be able to just, like, that sound is that frequency. It's valuable.
Yeah.
It's also like totally useless in like real world
I'm
unless you
not
know.
a I'm not a huge like fan of baseball like in real life, but for some reason I'm a huge fan of baseball movies.
Oh, really?
And yeah, like there's so many good ones, strangely.
Yeah.
And so like real recently, like I've been kind of on this like this dialogue that I'm saying about baseball and baseball films and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like chat GPT a list of baseball movies and see like which ones come up that I haven't seen or whatnot. And
Yeah.
there was this one that Alan Arkin was in. I'm trying to think who. Oh, it's like where they go to India to like hold like some contest because like baseball's having issues and it's like back in the day and they like for all these cricket players and they like looking for people who can throw like fastballs or whatnot, and they find these two kids that happen to not even be cricket players, but Alan Arkin is like this old like baseball pro scout or whatnot, and he goes with them to this thing and he's just like sleeping the whole time, and like the main guy's just like, are you gonna like pay attention, are you gonna help out here? And he's like, I'm listening, and he's like, next guy throws the ball and he's like, that's like a 42, and when it comes up on the thing it's like a 40. It's like he's reading, he can hear the ball of the wind or whatnot, and this is based on a true story too, so I don't know if they're embellishing on those on that level, but like, I mean, how crazy is that if somebody could actually tell you how fast the ball is, like, because they've just been around it that long that they can hear the sound of the speed. It's nuts.
It's so weird. The human mind is pretty fascinating,
Yeah.
when people can do this and dial in and like have this sort of like savant skill that comes out of nowhere. I wish I had something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like, I don't know. Do you have any like skills like that? Because I'm like trying to think of mine. I have no clue. I can differentiate between fine hotel carpeting patterns. I don't know.
Right. No, I don't think I have anything specific like that. Like that's random or no, nothing like that. No,
Yeah.
it would be cool to have one though. But then I
Would
think you have to lose another one of your senses or something like that to
yeah.
have like a really mighty strong or something like that. I don't know if that's true. Okay, so music then turned into film. So how long have you been making film?
Wow. Since 2005. In October of 2005, I was given a
Yeah.
like when I got hired to that touring job, the boss literally gave me a video camera and a laptop, and he's like, go shoot something. You have a week to deliver me a music video. And I was like, oh shit, like I never really did anything like that. So I ran around, was it Washington Square Park in New York, and like I like chased squirrels through the park, and I found like luckily this dude who was like fresh off the boat in New York. He played guitar and sang, and some other dude who played trombone just randomly like sitting next to him on the park bench. And I'm like, hey guys, play. And they started playing. Some homeless dude came up and like sat next to them during the shoot. And at first they're awkward, but then the dude, like, I remember the homeless dude, he's just sitting there kind of like nodding the whole video. And then at the end he goes, ah! Like, I'm like, all right, cool, he's in. I was like, yeah, this is great. But I used all the cheesiest filters and like,
Yeah,
like the clock wipe and all of this stuff, just like
absolutely.
learning transitions. And yeah, that was kind of when I first started. But then I went through like the tour bus was sponsored by Apple. So I got put through like all of the Apple certification training for Final Cut, Motion,
Yeah.
Logic, Soundtrack Pro. I became like a trainer of trainers for some of these
Oh, Jesus
certifications and
Christ.
stuff. And it was like, wow, like I started like with the bus. It was the John Lennon bus, like
Whoa.
Beatles Lennon. So it was a nonprofit mobile recording studio. We'd work with major artists, but we'd also work with um like students, and like a basic day, we'd have a group of students come on the bus. We'd help them write a song from scratch, record it, mix it, shoot a music video that day, edit the video that day, and then author it to a DVD. And they would leave with like a DVD of a full music video, even if they'd never touched an
Wow.
instrument. Uh,
Yeah.
so I just learned like through shotgun working, like
Yeah.
you have 10 minutes to like film a whole ass video. It's
Yeah.
like, what do you do? Like some of them were total shit. And it's like I say that like not disrespecting students and stuff, because it's like
Yeah.
you're encouraging them. Everyone's a beginner. I was a total beginner. I was green as hell. But then some of them are just like wildly good. Like
Yeah.
we did this one with Richard Dreyfuss, who is a fucking party animal. I gotta say, he told me some wild ass stories, dude.
Really?
But it was like
Hilarious.
high school students in San Francisco and Richard Dreyfuss, and it was like a very like poignant, artistic, like spoken word reading thing. I think it was called Land of the Lotus Eaters, that video, and
Yeah.
it was just like a reflection on society, and it's really interesting. And like the video, we had like half an hour to shoot it, and so it was just a scramble as fast as you can. And I cut the video in about that much time too, and I had all the Apple nerds, like people from Apple, like over my shoulder watching me. And um like I turned it around, had it, we showed it at like Macworld 2007 or
Yeah.
2008. And like it got me hired at Apple as a video editor. Like
Yeah.
so yeah, I
Wow.
like, started, I moved, I quit touring. I lived in San Francisco. I was editing for Apple and Cupertino, and also for Verizon, who were competitors at the time for like iTunes. They were like battling for, the biggest music market thing.
Yeah.
So Verizon wasn't very happy that I was doing that. So I lost that job because I took the Apple job, which is
Oh
really,
man, I did a commercial for Verizon, and
oh,
they were like the worst, some of the worst like client, like that I ever had to work for. Where they were so rude. At one
yeah,
point, I think they were like checking my wardrobe or whatever, and somebody just like this was like, he looks sad,
yeah,
like it's like they would just like kind of bullet shoot like negative like like the unnecessary sort of things. And there was a one moment we're on set, and the director comes over after a take, and he's so happy. He's like, "Dude, guys, that was great. Just do more of that. Awesome." And he walks back to the camera, and all of a sudden the clients call him over, and
mhm.
he's like, and he walks back over. Just his face is this like the happiness is gone. He's just like, just don't do anything. And he turns around and walks back. It's just like shutting them down or whatever. That must have been difficult to work for them.
It was a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
So like I was editing videos for them, and then I also did some tours for Verizon. Like I became a specialist in running like mobile recording studios and tour
Yeah.
management and shit like that. So I did like a solo tour in a different recording studio bus. And like I was contracting through another company that was a client, or that had Verizon as a client. So like that company I was contracting through, they were phenomenal. They were like the sweetest, coolest people. They paid really well. Like
Yeah.
that job, that touring job, it was like one of the easiest jobs I ever had, really. I was on tour with Natasha Bedingfield and the Veronicas and Kate Vogel. And Natasha Bedingfield had that song "Take Me Away" or whatever was her single at the time.
Yeah.
And so our studio was like literally our job was to go to each of the tour stops and let people come onto the bus to like record the vocals for the bridge, like their version of the vocals for the bridge for the Natasha song. But like at most of these venues, like the Borgata Casino in Atlantic City, right? Like the only place we could park the bus because of security at these casinos was like way in the back. And you couldn't walk people through like all of the employee and staff like hallways and stuff to get them back to the bus. So I was there for nothing. Like nobody could come back to the bus. So I had like in like 3 weeks, I maybe worked like 10 hours. And we had a tour bus driver that, I mean, we had PS3s on the bus in the studio. We were just like smoking weed and like hitting buffets. Like the tour bus driver was like obsessed with buffets. He was like, you know, big dude, Bill from Tennessee. Like all bus drivers are Southern, by the way.
Yeah.
And he just wear sweatpants and whatever, and just be like, y'all want to go up to this buffet right here? And we just like, we did a buffet tour for 3 weeks is literally what it was.
Did you hit a Golden Corral by any chance?
Oh, totally. Yeah. A
good.
couple of them. Yeah. Cause they're all over like, yeah. So man,
that's so fun. Yeah. The South is all about buffets, man. For real. That's great. Hilarious. Okay, so how and when did you find like crypto, the Web3 space, and then like how does that like translate into, you know, like what you're doing and everything?
Yeah, so funny story. I read the Satoshi white paper shortly after it came out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like when it first came out, I was, you know, I'm a nerd and I love tech and science and all this stuff. And I saw like cryptography, and I've always been into like, you know, intelligence and those kinds of things. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, what's this all about? And I read it and I understood it. And the first thing I started to do like is try to find like, well, how do I buy it? And man, every site was just like shady. Like you wouldn't connect, you know, back then, if you wouldn't connect your like credit card or debit card to anything. You were like paranoid about every site unless it was like some major. And man, like, so I waited, you know, and then I had a friend, Tatiana, who like, she's like, oh, you need to get Bitcoin. You need to get Bitcoin. And like, she was a part of this group of like crazy, like crypto anarchist, libertarian, like mega, like we don't need anything. Like we just need crypto and we'll just like live, breathe and eat, sleep crypto and no laws and whatever. And like the way that she was such a maxi about it, like it kind of like put me off to it. And I'm like, like, I don't know. So she's like shilling me.
You know how many people I put off like when I first got into it?
Yo, I know. Like it's a funny like thing. Like once you're into it, you're like, yes, like I'm an evangelist. And she's like a like unapologetic evangelist. Like she has whole albums about Bitcoin, you know, she's like really a maxi. And you know, like, so I had a chance to get into Bitcoin at like 25 cents a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah, like it still looks shady. And then like many years passed, and I bought Dogecoin at 0.002 cents. And it was right before that big explosion, the Elon Musk thing, and it went to 74 cents. So I like cashed in, and then I cashed out. I took profits. Like I felt really good about that. And like it started to send me down.
Nobody does that at first. Nobody does that. That's amazing.
I know. I was like so proud of myself. I'm like, wow. Like I'd been investing in stocks, like never won. Like I never hit big. I never had like a 2x, let alone like a 10 or a 100x. And like, so I started getting into like, I'm like, okay, cool. I found shit coins. I discovered shit coins because I'm like, man, the memes, like I get memes, you know, and I get meme culture. So my dumbass bought Safe Moon and I got rugged like hell on that. I started finding other like BSC coins and stuff. And it was crazy because like I did learn strategies. Like if you take, you know, you go to like CoinMarketCap and the newest coins that come out, if you put like $25 a bet on each one of those, and then like one of them hits and like, you know, someone's artificially inflating it and like, you know, you take the profits after a certain amount, you can make your money. So I started doing that. And then I came around like everyone does to like, it's Bitcoin and it's Ethereum. And there's like a couple of alts that are important, but like, you know, there's like the stability is in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I started hearing about NFTs and I like couldn't stand that I didn't understand them at first. Like nobody could explain them to me in a way that I understood. So I'm just like, screw it, going down a rabbit hole. and it was actually someone in the community, NFTP, who like took me under her wing, and she sent me a whole bunch of materials. I was in like Clubhouse Spaces and like 2021, and she's like, oh, you got to check this out, check out Tezos, check out Ethereum, like this is what this is, blah blah blah. I started buying on Tezos first, and then I started buying on Ethereum. And like I was buying and minting on Ethereum like right as the bull run like kicked off. So I couldn't lose. And it was wild, man. Like I actually, like, I know talking about numbers is tacky, but like I made like 10 G's off of my like $100 or $200 investment in Dogecoin. I took those 10 G's, that house money, and I put it into Ethereum and started minting. And then I minted like a lot of projects that just fucking went off.
Yeah.
And I probably at the peak of the bull run and everything, I was probably up from just house money up to like it's like $400,000 or $500,000.
Yeah, I
Which,
see. Like when
yeah,
you say talking about numbers, it can be tacky, but I think in the way that you're talking about him, and I think it's important for new people to understand, like, you know, to hear these sort of stories or whatever, and how it can happen and how it goes or whatnot. Especially because we're like, you know, if you believe, which I believe, we're fully like on our way into the next bull run here, that's like when the magic happens. You know what I mean? Like right now, like the things that you get into have that ability to like pop off like crazy.
yeah.
Like this will be my third bull run to be a part of. So like the first one, it was like I started with like $100 and kind of got in like a little late into it, but like ended it with like $5,000. And I was like, wow, I can't believe you know, that was like a lot to me at the time, you know, like from 1 to 5. And then in the second one, it was like about like 5 to about 70, you know, and that was just kind of like not trading too much or whatever. Like I sort of was trading a lot in the beginning and had like moments where like I was really seeing and really good, but it takes all of my attention and time, you know?
Yeah.
So when the NFT stuff happened, same sort of thing. We launched our ERC20 token right before the bull run of 2021 and had all these plans, you know, integrated into like the film community and music and all this stuff. But it was like, oh, wait a minute. Everything that we wanted to do is like largely expensive and it's not possible. At the same time, you know, I started doing I was already doing a bunch of stuff on Wax because of Upland, which was you know, a metaverse that kind of like there was a crew of artists that were called the Upland fan art, you know, sort of community or whatnot. So I got involved with that, and then like started doing a comic book called Metaphors Comics, which had early successes. And you know, so it was like at that point I was like, well, fuck trading. I just want to like focus, you know, like everything I've done in my life has been around like making creativity, like film, music, all this stuff. So it's like, oh, this is why when my older brother was screaming at me to get into crypto, and I got in, I started reading one white paper after another because I was just blown away by everything that I was reading.
Yeah.
And started seeing like, oh, this is the future of film. This is the future of entertainment. This is the future of the business of all that. This is, I mean, just seeing it. And then NFT shit booms, and I'm like, oh my god, now I can see it. This is kind of what I was seeing, but like bigger than I thought it could be. And so then it was like I just like said, oh, screw the coins, they're fine. They're just doing what they're doing. I'm just gonna try to like focus on making, you know, money off of making art and that kind of stuff in the space. And you know, then like kind of turned around and like my bag was like, oh shit, it's like cut in half, you know. And then like, well, it's got to bounce soon, and it just never had that bounce that I was expecting it to. And so I just held on to all my coins, you know, and was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just wait till the next one. You know, I know I got good bags at this point, you know what I mean? In a way. But yeah, the USD value throughout the last year has been like sad, you know, terrible. But like after having that experience of going through it, there's no stress. I don't feel like I lost anything this last time, you know, because I'm like, I just have to wait and keep building, you know, like building creatively and artistically throughout this, you know, what some people were calling the builder's market, you know, which I like that term. But it was like, yeah, just hold on, just keep building, and you know, just try to keep stacking to these coins while things are cheap. And see what happens in the next run.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm with you too. Like this was my first bull run that I was really like heavily invested in and like paying really close attention to. And I'd seen like rises and falls before, but I never participated. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, like what did I learn?
Well,
I
yeah, but just to real quick, just to butt in real quick.
yeah.
That was the thing. Like there was something that sort of like I got caught up in the whole narrative of crypto the first time. That's why I kind of held through that, like, and didn't really sell when I should have. And then in this one, I got caught up in the narrative of NFTs and being able to like be creative and like I just thought like, oh, we're on the game on. Like it's going to be easy from now on out. I'm like an idiot. But so that's where going into this next one, I'm like, don't get caught up into the romance of any narrative. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be some star that's running the bull run, and it's going to be so easy to hive mind in like everybody else, the 90% that are all going to make that same mistake. But like, yeah, I've been here long enough that like, I know some rules, I know some things to do and stuff, but the trick is you have to fucking stick to that. You have to like, you have that discipline. And that's like the number one thing. If anybody's new here, that's what I say is like, learn your discipline early in these, like, if you say at this number, I'm pulling out this much or whatever, do it.
Do
you
it.
know what I mean? Do it.
My God. Like when obviously like I used the money that I had made to start 0XTHULU, the business that we had run for a while, which we've closed since and all that. And it was like, I wouldn't say a total loss, but financially a total loss for me. And my business partner who came into it with me, like we both kind of got into crypto and started buying and trading at the same time. And he was a day trader, like for a living day trader, making like a full living off of just day trading stocks. And he bought in on Dogecoin with me. I was sort of annoying him and he bought it at 4 cents. And he's an experienced trader. This dude knows what he's doing. And like he sold it right at the peak at 74 cents. Right at the like SNL, the Elon Musk SNL thing, whatever. He just knew. He's like, sell the news. Like it was so simple to him. He's like, I've made enough. But like it tripped, like I was like, holy shit, man. Cause he put, when I was like, yo, man, you should buy some Dogecoin. And I'm just thinking like, oh, maybe he'll put in like $100 or $200. Like I didn't know what he was messing around with. He's like, yeah, I put in 30 grand on Dogecoin at 0.0, like at 4 cents. And I'm like, oh, holy shit, bro. Like I kind of felt bad because I'm like, did I just like wreck you financially? But he sold at the top. He made like $960,000. He bought an RV. He took a year off with his family and he just toured, like traveled around the country. And I was like, God damn, like how, like I need to learn, his conviction or discipline or like, what was it? It was like, it's the number one thing you learn is like, if you feel really good about what you're doing, that's when you need to sell. Because like when you pat yourself on the back, like it's only downhill and you're only an idiot after that. Because
the other thing that that conviction thing, when you said that, like that's one thing that like I had conviction in the last bull run to a certain number I had, or whatever, and where I was going, and it didn't hit.
Yeah.
So I was convicted to that, you know what I mean? So I'm okay with that. Like also too, like that, like sort of perception of it. It was like, all right, this is what I want. It will get there the next time. I know it, or whatnot. So sort of thing. But it would have been better if I fucking sold, you know what I mean? Like,
I know,
absolutely, because I would be in a better position to go for the next one if I did, So these are things that you learn along the way. And you think that it's so easy. I swear it seems so easy. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's like people overthink things. Like it's simple. It's like you're at a certain number that you set and all that. Just sell it. Just like go. You're going to be happier making like $100 into $200 than you are making $100 into $5. Like,
absolutely.
If it goes, from 100 to 200 and then you sell and then, oh, it made it to 250, like, who cares? Like that energy is a wasted energy. Like worrying about what could have been after you've already like made profit.
Yeah.
God, I wish I had known that. And like I think too that in a bear market like this, your strategies kind of change up, and like a lot of things just completely disappeared or dropped off the map. Like even
Yeah.
curve and stuff like that, where you expect like the whole industry kind of depends on this. Like it's not predictable. I started learning more about like like stable DeFi and stuff like that, like playing with stable coins.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, I do appreciate, like on some sexes, like on Coinbase, when you can like hold USDC and get a percentage, even if it's 5%, like that's saved me from like wrecking myself a lot of times, just knowing that like I'm gonna make at least this off of it, and it blows a bank or a savings account out of the water. Like
Yeah.
it just makes, I don't know, it makes more sense. So yeah, I've learned
Absolutely.
and all of this, but like man, did I burned all of that money, building that company and trying all that. But I mean, we
Yeah.
got hacked. We had all sorts of crazy stuff happen. I got
Well,
like a fresh dose of like reality and learning from that.
the Ox Hulu got hacked? Oh wow. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And like now that it's closed down, I guess there's some aspects of it I wasn't really sharing too publicly, but I don't mind now. Like when we launched our mint, um, we leading up to that, everyone on our team in our company, like we had security breach attempts on like our phones, our laptops, our Facebook, our Instagram, all of this. We're getting notifications like left and right. We're like someone's like trying to prod their way into what we're doing for sure.
Yeah.
And day of the launch, we got DDoS'd, like they DDoS'd the website. We left like an error in the smart contract that allowed people to subvert the like allow list for free minting. So within about 5 minutes, people stole about 5,500 free mints out of our whole collection. And we like had to close down the mint. We had to stop it. We had to restart it. There were other problems with it and everything too. We had to end up making like a swap contract and a V2 for people to swap to for everything, because it like messed up the token URI or something like that. And then like it kind of prevented a reveal. But then the night of the hack and everything, like I was already losing my mind from everything that had happened. Like we saw ourselves get totally blown out of the water. There was this asshole from New Zealand who got onto our Twitter space and like took credit for everything, saying like, oh, well, thank you for all the free mints from your contract. Now our community can go and get quality McDonald's. Shit sticks in my head forever. And it was like, I was like stressed
Oh
out.
my God.
I was stressed out of my gourd, and this dude is like antagonizing me and taunting me and stuff. I was furious. And like, so that night, we got hacked, like hacked. So there, we had, a dev company that our CTO was working with called Blaze WS, Blaze.ws. And instead of having that company do the contract, our CTO had one of their engineers make our contract. And that engineer in India had his laptop compromised, his MetaMask compromised that had our contract on it. And the hacker stole our smart contract that night and ransomed us to get it back. So we paid a 2.2 ETH ransom. Thankfully, we got it back. Like he had actually changed it so that he was the sole recipient of all funds and all like secondary royalties and all this for a while. Like this is how I kind of learned smart contracts, from like absolute fucking disaster and pain and agony and seeing what goes wrong. And, thankfully we got it back. Like it didn't really cost us that much. besides the 2.2 ETH, which the CTO repaid. You know, he took a lot of responsibility for that. A lot of people, there were about 3,500 free claims that people were like allotted for. He paid about 50K out of his pocket to airdrop all 3,500 of them out to everyone who wanted them with gas fees. Like, we made up for it, but it was like, man, like from there, it was just chasing, like we got kneecapped, like we got totally kneecapped. And it was hard for people to trust, you know, the company, I guess, just because of like that initial failure. And for us, like we were, I mean, I was like, how the hell? Like, we were definitely targeted. Like, it was coordinated. There was something more to it because it's just a huge stack of things that was happening to us there. And man, it's like, I mean, I hit like that stress from that put me in this burnout mode that, like, I didn't even want to admit or recognize myself how burnt out I was, that the stress had just like eliminated my capacity to be productive. And it was like I started doing the smart contracts from there. Like, we had Blaze come in. Blaze was awesome. They did the swap contract to V2, which put it on an ERC-721A. The reveal was great. We had Keith David, as you know, like do the voiceover for like our NFT, which is 5 variations. It's a membership pass. But instead of like the spinning 3D card, we had a full like 1.5 minute long 3D animation with a bunch of like lore and secrets and crazy shit. Yeah. And it's funny too, because like, let's just say I ran into some really like corrupt people in the Web3 like founder and VC space, who to this day I like really question their level of involvement in everything that went down with us and all this stuff too. But you know, like within, like I wrote the like what Keith was like doing for the voiceover, and I kind of like dropped these messages that like got off of my chest, like the things that were like about these corrupt people that were like irritating me. And I don't think anyone's deciphered it, but it's like it got so much off my chest, like just getting that out and revealed. And it's like I got to say things that I can't really say publicly because it's kind of like too dangerous. And like I already went through hell, like you know, keeping back against these forces. So yeah.
Good Lord, man. I had no idea that you were going through all of that stuff with that. So now you're out of there. And so are you feeling a little bit more like refreshed or still kind of recovering? Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I feel like I'll be recovering for a while yet, but yeah, like last year, around this time, I really realized I'm like, fuck man, I am burnt out. Like I am not functioning. Like I'm depressed. I'm like not eating right. I'm not taking care of myself, and I just can't function productively. So I started meditating. I started working out and going to the gym and stuff like that. And I kind of like over the past year have really turned myself around.
Amazing.
And yeah, it's kind of funny actually. Like I just got back from a gig doing sound for a mostly silent meditation retreat in San Francisco.
Wow.
So like, yeah, ultimate life hack. I'm like getting paid to go to meditation retreats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you know, I feel a lot better about it. And it's weird how like it was so painful and like so hard, all of those things. And I mean, on top of that, like I have people who still to this day like perpetually harass and target me online and like have made me out to be a villain. And it's like because I put myself out there, like I'm not that kind of person, you know, like I have no need or interest to be like hurting people. Like I'm just trying to make shit that I love. And like, you know, it was a dream to like work with Keith David and like have him voice a character I created. Like fucking A, like that's like there's no malice in that. Like, you know, and it's just kind of funny, man. It's just kind of funny. And I really believed, like you do too, that like film needs Web3 very, very badly. And I wanted to help put those things together. But then kind of at the end of it, I'm like, I have to keep my own life together. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I can innovate and like I do have ideas. Like I actually filed a patent. It's in the process right now for um, approval with like something that merges film and Web3 together.
Awesome.
But I'm like not in a rush, you know,
Yeah.
like I'm not in any hurry. And like I've learned what moving fast and breaking things means, as they say in like Silicon Valley. And like I just like I can't afford to break anymore, you know,
Yeah.
like personally, financially, all of that. And I don't know.
Well,
I'm grateful for it.
unfortunately, fortunately, that's kind of a little bit of what I feel like this space is, you know, like is about like the experimentation of using all these tools and building on top of these tools and create, you know, whether it be the technical side or like the story side of things, you know, like how can you integrate, you know, your mission or your story into this technology or whatnot, you know. And so, and sadly, not sadly at the same time too, it's the same, it's a double-edged world that we're in, because it's like this is a place where you can actually make some money, like versus any other stock, you know, like you were saying, it didn't 2x, right, like in
Yeah.
the stock. So it's like you can make money here, but that's also going to bring in a bunch of fucking assholes too, that are like, you know, that don't have souls. You know, they
Yeah.
really don't have moral codes whatsoever. You know, and
Oh.
yeah,
Founders are great. I gotta say this, like founders try really hard in Web3. Founders, like there are some that are like flamboyant, like, you know, whatever. Like you can tell when they're over the top and maybe a little too ego driven. But VCs are among some of the worst people in this whole industry. Like they really, really are. And it's like that's the really sad thing. Like we got to a point where we kind of needed funding to continue, and I was just like, man, this is a minefield of assholes that I really don't want to work with. Like they're all the
yeah,
kids who graduated, like the guys who graduated from like white frat boy colleges and stuff, and like have had money for most of their lives, most of them. Like
yeah,
there, of course, there are good people in that, and people who really worked for it, really earned it. But man, some really entitled, chauvinist, like
yeah,
backwards, corrupt, like awful, awful people.
yeah.
And like, yeah, like I saw things at these NFT parties being a founder and being sort of behind the scenes. Like, you know, one guy who I won't name, like married, has kids, and like running off behind the scenes with other women, like at these events and stuff like that. Like
You're
they
talking
didn't give a
about
shit.
BitBoy? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I mean, but that point in case though, you know what I mean? Like that's what his big butt,
Yeah.
like same, that's exactly what you're talking about,
It's
essentially.
sad.
Yeah.
It's that like money, like the financial district comes in, and you know, it's like I'll also say that like in film, I think everybody knows the agencies are like notoriously bad and corrupted. Like Harvey
Yeah.
Weinstein was enabled by agencies that threatened the careers and livelihoods of actresses who didn't go along with his sexual propositioning. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's worse than that. Like there's worse stuff than that,
Yeah.
and people are too afraid to come forward, or there have been catch and kill efforts like Harvey Weinstein put into place. So when I see like an NFT artist or a group is like represented by one of the major agencies, like good for them because they're like going to make more money and they have someone who's really connected that will help with their business development, but also like I don't think everyone really fully understands like what kind of person is being invited into this. And it gets into like people see crypto as scammy if you're a normie, you know, and that like it's a whole bunch of shady people, and they see Sam Bankman Fried and like all this stuff, and that's the impression that they get. And then they hear like, oh, I got scammed, my wallet got drained, blah blah blah. It's like there are worse things than that. And like,
Yeah.
you know, for like people are so desperate to try to get like a mainstream adoption, or like, you know, like an Apple to be like, yes, we validate that crypto is worthwhile and valid and all of this stuff. like they're desperate for something like that to take it, but it's all like bag interest. Like it's people who just want to see their bags go up, and like the integrity of it really matters. It really, really matters.
Yeah, it really does. And it's funny how, like, I mean, even myself, like I showed up to the party because it's like, wait, what, money? But then the farther I get into it, like the more I'm getting out of it, and more
Mhm.
like I never thought that I would ever think that like technology, I mean, it is, but I didn't really think of it as art. But like after being in the space and like working with devs and people that like have these skills and seeing like just like the advancement of the tools in the short little time, and it's like, wow, and when you come across an app that's like built in a way that's like this functions so wonderfully,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's just it's crazy. It's really beautiful to me, to the that, and I'm so happy that I have that perception now too, to that's part of it all, like that's the whole reason we're here, really. You think it's money, but it's like this other thing. I know people use that analogy, like if you could have invested in the internet back in the 90s, like, and you're getting to do that here now, like, yeah, you really kind of are, like, which wasn't the opportunity to invest in the internet wasn't there, right? So
Mhm.
it's yeah, it's exciting, and it's also tragic too at the same time. There's a lot of like good and a lot of bad that, like, unfortunately you've had to endure.
Yeah. Well,
But I hope that like it just makes you stronger, and I hope it does like make you like, at one point, like, all right, I'm ready to jump back in and go. I'm sure you
yeah.
will at some point, but
Well, there's bad
most,
eggs in
yeah,
anything, and I mean, I came from like entertain film and music, which
which
is
is the
like,
same.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's not like I
seasoned.
did an upgrade there,
Yeah,
but like, like I'm with you where it's like some of that tech is beautiful, and when you really see it, like what like film is a great example, right? Film and music,
yeah,
um, if you collaborate on an indie film and you're making nothing, like you're getting points, which is percentage of the back end of the sale of the project. Like if you're like I've worked on films and I have points on like a couple films, I'll never see $1 from that because there's no transparency in how the money is distributed, and the
right,
distributors like you know self distribution is important, and it needs to be like a stronger thing for filmmakers,
right.
and it exists
Well,
for
like back,
them.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you messed around with the Steemit blockchain when it was around. It's now
No.
called Hive, but Steemit was like one of the first, shit coins or whatever that I found and got into. But like at the time, it was like it's kind of like a Facebook meets Reddit sort of posting thing, and there's like groups and this and that. And I started making entering music contests, and I entered this season, throughout a whole year, and there was other 200 producers, and I got third place in that. There was all these radio shows on Steemit, and I just like was, like trying to get on every one, so I all of a sudden had this community of like musicians that were all like of like crypto minded, and was making like decent money by just putting up a song a day, and like people were like buying it, or tipping is what you would do. You didn't buy it, you just tipped off of it. And then I put up a short documentary that I made of my friend who's an artist and who's really, eccentric, weird dude. It's like a 5-minute piece. And somebody tipped me out $1,200 worth of Steemit, and I was just like, the first thought that I had, like literally when I saw that, the first thing that jumped in my head is like, why would I ever submit to a film festival again?
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
Oh
Like,
man. Oh,
so
film
I it
festival.
really was like, exciting me to, and, it was just pushing me farther into this space, of like, this is it. It was funny. I watched, Beeple had like a art show not too long ago, and there was like a 30-minute interview with him before the show started. And he's just
Yeah.
walking around the studio talking about all his pieces and stuff. And in it, he talks about like, once he got his mind wrapped around NFTs and the whole thing, like he canceled all of his other like commercial work that was lined up and was like, I'm doing this, and it was like,
Mhm.
I just watched that a few days ago, and like hearing that, I was like, it felt like refreshing. I'm like, okay, because that's kind of what I've done too. Like I just abandoned like trying to make movies like for a while.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, like I still have that in me and I'm still going to, but it was like, this is what I'm doing now. Like I'm doing this and I'm going to integrate all of the movies and the things that I made into this, you know, is always the plan and the mission and that I've been on, you know. So
Yeah. I mean, it's the inevitable future. It really is, especially for film, right? Like, let's take you know, Netflix as an example. You know, you can screen capture a Netflix stream and steal it. Like there's a tech solution to like fog it out or make it blurry or whatever too, but you know, like either way, like, you know, the whole idea of like, don't reproduce these
yeah,
digital videos. It's like with Napster and torrents and all this stuff, like our generations laugh at that. Like you cannot stop me from reproducing it. But the
yeah.
provenance thing that like blockchain gives for an asset like film is huge. It's huge because it's provable and could stop some of this piracy or be an extra level of like, you know, prevention that, you know, it's one thing like, yeah, go ahead, please steal the Avengers, like Marvel money, like who cares? You know, like,
Mhm.
you know, it is what it is. It's not going to
Yeah,
break them. They want to report a loss so that they don't have to pay taxes. They do it all the time.
yeah.
But like an indie filmmaker, you know, like I've worked on indie films where someone leaks it, and it's like that. It ruins everything, and it's
I
just
mean, I
like,
had my
yeah,
sixth or seventh film that I made is called Sick of It All, and Gravitas put it out.
yeah,
And it was like 5 minutes before midnight. It started showing up on all these stolen sites. So it's
yeah,
like, that's an inside job. That's somebody from the company, you know, selling it out or something because we didn't do it. You know what I mean? There's no way.
yep,
It went through there. Like it had to go through there. You
yeah,
know, but like also too, like I was kind of like, I felt like I made it. You know what I mean? Like, all right, they stole one of my movies or whatever. And also too, at the level that, you know, this is a super low budget film. I was like, fine. Like if that's what they want to do, then that's what they're doing. You know, if they're leaking it out to these like streaming or whatever the deal is, like I'm just hoping more people see it now, like is what I was hoping for at the time. You know, it's like
yeah,
hopefully this gets us more people talking about the movie and, you know, reviewing it or whatever. I don't know, but
mhm,
I'm always an optimist. I'm
yeah,
always looking
yeah.
for the optimistic moment in it because it always seems to happen to in this way.
It is flattering. It is flattering when someone steals your shit and puts it out there, and you see that there's like
Yeah, but they
authentic
don't really
organic
know. They don't
interest.
know that it's
Yeah,
anything. They're just stealing everything and putting it out. You know what I
yeah,
mean? This is like this throw the shit at the fan, see what sticks. I think it's not really flattering, but you know that was how I took it at the time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Man, yeah, there
crazy.
was a movie, like, one of the few that I worked on, and then, like, I act in, like, one of the scenes at the end. I was actually, like, really happy that someone posted it to YouTube because I'm like, "Well, finally, like, people are gonna see this." 'Cause another thing too with, like, film distributors is they will totally lie and not promote it, not market it, like
Yeah,
shelve it basically once they've bought it so they can just report a loss. And then they never have to pay you after their initial buyout. So
it's
if they can
funny,
buy
like
it
the
from you,
level, like the
yeah,
the the people that have paid for my films. It's almost like they don't even care to make their money back. It's just like they just want to be a part of
yeah.
making a movie or something like that. And I'm always
Mhm.
like, I always like wish that they were like would care to make their money back so that they would like maybe have a little bit more effort in trying to like sell their it's their movie essentially, right? You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
got paid to make it. I sold it to them on some level, you
Mhm.
know, like so I just always wish that I had that system or it's like I've always missed that person in my I've needed that seller person, you know, like it's because it's usually ends up being me trying to do it, and I'm not good at it. I'm not
Yeah.
good at selling movies.
No, it's hard. I mean, by the time
Hard.
you wrote it, you know, you produced it, you made it, like
Yeah.
filmed it, cut it, put it all together, pitched it, sold it. Like God, at the end of that, you just want to be done.
Yeah.
It's
And at the
years.
time I've made like 5 movies in 4.5 years or something like that. So like for me, I was already on to the next one. So it was like I'm worried about this one. Like, so
Yeah.
the last one would kind of sit for a while, and then like I'd get done with production and I could come back to like trying to push that one. But it was like, I need more people, like
Yeah.
yeah.
For real.
But well, shit, man, I've kept you for about an hour. I think we could probably do this for another 3 hours straight, but I'm sure you got more to do in your day here. But we should do this again soon, sometime soon, whether it be on air or off air. We got to keep this conversation going
Totally.
for sure,
Totally.
man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Thanks for everyone in the audience. I see Silent Tone and Wax Potheads and M Ninja Fourth. I don't know how you say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna hang out online for about 20 more minutes and give some shit away. You're welcome to stay, but you're welcome to jump off too. Either way, it was cool with me.
Lurk. Ooh, I like that. Lurkers. I'm a lurker too. I just sit silently and I don't say shit. I absorb, right?
Yeah.
Play me Warsick and Left. Oh. Love this stuff.
Yeah, but man, like like it's cool. Like we have mutual friends. Mr. James Duval, who's in my new mini series Rabbit Hole, which is starting here in November. And
Yeah.
then also Wonder Mundo, who I met at Consensus, and she's awesome, and she just speaks super highly of you. And she's like, I can't believe like the successes that she's had with her work, and still
Yeah.
people struggle. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy to me when I see her post about like sort of just like stressing about the world or whatever. I'm like, fuck, man, you have your stuff at Christie's. Was it Christie's? Yeah.
Yeah, Christie's. Yeah.
And
Man,
yeah,
I know.
so
God, yeah, two really great people, man. James Duvall, like
yeah,
I love that dude to death. He stuck his neck out for me like early when I was starting 0XTHULU, and um like there's a dude who like what people don't really know about this dude. He was for people who don't know the name, he was Frank the Bunny and Donnie Darko. He could be taking all of these much bigger movies, but like he goes so far out of his way to help independent filmmakers. It's
yeah,
like he's sacrificing a lot of himself for it. It's amazing, man. He's amazing. And Wonder Mundo, like I think she is the most like well-adjusted and consistent person I have ever met. Like she got into Christie's and she does all this stuff. She has a great following and all this because she's brilliant and she's like consistent as hell. Like I don't
yeah.
know how she does it. Like I'm all over the place any given day.
Same.
Like I'll always find an excuse to not be consistent. But
Yeah.
like, man, it pays for her. I could learn a lot from her, But
Yeah, there's something to consistency. There's back in the day during my DJ days, there was a superstar DJ that was like, if you want to make it, you just got to play the same records over and over again. And I'm like, no way, that's boring as shit. Like I'm all over, like you, I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
I was always switching it up. I was kind of like an idiot. It was like as soon as I saw that the audience was enjoying the music, I'm like, nope, I got to switch. I got to play something harder, something more fuck for the mind, something like that. But yeah, I'm always trying to push it for some reason.
Yeah.
So but then like the way I see myself now is like, because I've jumped around, I've worn so many hats, like whether it be just in the film world, like, but like music or like all over the place, that by now, like I feel like it's all started to hone into one thing. It's like these are all the skills that I have. They all kind of come together, like so I'm liking where I'm at. It feels good.
Yeah. To be
Coming into
creative,
my prime.
make a living being creative that is freedom. That is freedom,
Even if it's like, barely getting by, it's still freedom. Like I'd take it any day. You know what I mean? Like whether it's like hard living or easy living, like it's better than a 9 to 5 for me. I could never do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not at this point too. Like I've been doing this for so long that it'd be so weird to go back.
Oh man. I
Or
feel like
begin, actually. It would be
the
beginning for me, really,
yeah, the
because I
longer
never
you're
really did it.
out of that 9 to 5 game, you come back and, like, you really develop a problem with authority because, like, you've probably been there and had to do some of these decisions yourself, and you're like, as someone who's only been 9 to 5 making decisions over you when they've never had to, like, risk something, like, you just take more chances, I guess, and
Yeah.
you know that there's that risk reward, and I think too, we're crypto people, we're fucking gamblers, like,
Yeah.
we'll take some big risks, but, like,
Yeah, that's true.
you win once and it's worth it, so
Yeah, my whole journey, my whole life has been a fucking risk, 100%. Like, yeah,
yeah,
I'm always whatever every field I've tried to attempt in are the hardest fields to make it in, like 100%. Like, but that's just I can't do it any other way. There's no way.
yeah. Yeah, well, you've been on a roll, man. I love it. So many films that you've done, so many things. Like I can't even keep up. You sent me a list once, and I'm like, I got through Rabbit Hole, but like the rest of them, like holy shit, like I have to schedule it out in order to
Oh
try to get
yeah,
like an idea of everything you've done, man. It's
yeah.
amazing. It's impressive.
Well, you'll see Jimmy in most of them. He's in like, yeah, like I think he's not in one of them. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
in all but one. Yeah. Even in Rabbit Hole. So like, yeah, with like Rabbit Hole, we're putting out through Cosmos, which has been interesting because like they've been sort of building and like, we thought we were going to do it a little earlier, but
yeah,
now like kind of all their bells and whistles are kind of finally there. But it's pretty cool. Like we've been putting up interview videos that like questions will pop up and you can interact with them. If you do, we're going to send NFTs to everybody that does and kind of give them the first episode like a week early, sort of exclusive sort of stuff. But it's just fun to like, dabble with these tools. But it's always so frustrating whenever I move to a new chain or a new thing. And it's like, I don't understand. I do on paper, but once I start trying to push the buttons, like, what does this mean? This is different word than over here on this one. And it's just like the swap of the language is
yeah,
mind-boggling.
yeah.
And also
Cosmos is
too, the
Rust,
instructions
right?
are coming from different like countries too, like in English. So
Yeah.
it's like for a dyslexic man like myself, that is sometimes like so hard. 100
Yeah.
times I got to read that stuff over and over again,
Right.
but I get
Right.
there.
Yeah.
All right, Jacob, I'll let you go, man, but pleasure, man. Have a lovely evening or afternoon, and yeah, we'll talk really soon.
All right, brother. Thanks, man.
All
Appreciate you.
right.
Thanks everyone for listening. See y'all later.
Indeed. All right, guys, let's do a little bit of giveaways here. We'll do a few giveaways here. What a dude, what a boss, what a legend, Mr. Jacob. I couldn't break away from that conversation to get into giveaways or anything else. I was enjoying it way too much. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Felt like there was a lot of educational sort of storytelling in there that even if you're not a newbie, if you've been around for a while, I think there was stuff that we were saying in there that it's probably good to be refreshed or reminded about after we're going, as we get going into this next bull run here. So yeah, all right. So everybody that is a board Pepe Wax Club holder, you guys checked your wallets. You found 1 million board Pepe Wax Club trait farm cards for the 169ers and above. I know you guys got a billion and one of the farm cards, but hopefully you've taken them over to the old farm and have staked them up. I'll pull up the farms right now, actually. Oh, this is the old Pepe art farm. We got so many farms happening right now, but for the holders cards go into this farm here with the little red logo. The holders cards, because since there's so many of them, let's do a refresh on here and see how many cards we have staked. Stake it up. 3,267 are in this pond. Okay, that's cool. That's very, very cool. And what about the other one? This is for the Benny Braces, for the CBOT, Chicago Board of Trade Traders jackets. If you're holding Pepe's with those traders jackets, you can bring them on over here to this trait farm. Pepe 1 is the name of the farm over here on the Waxdow. Where am I at? I'm bouncing around. Am I in the wrong? No, I'm in the right side. Stake. Oh yeah, I got cards to stake still. All right, here we are. Oh, okay, let me refresh. It says 286. This would be a lesser number than the other pond, right? All right, 448. All right, so you guys are finding the old ponds, the ponderosas. That's super cool. And then what? We got the Pepe Art Farm, which you can stake your Merv Jr., your Pepe Juniors, and also the upcoming drop on Friday, which is the my OG Pepe FU 96. Wait a minute, where is that? That's the dummy. Oh, it's refreshing. Let me refresh it again. It's still loading. Here it comes right here. Part of the Dyslexic 95 series. There was 10 pieces of art that I put out. Inside this pack, there are 3 different pieces. There's the original Pepe that I drew back in 1996. So Matt Fury, you know, his was in 2005. Sorry, I was there first, about a decade before. There's a remix Bubble Pepe that is very beautiful and comes with a piece of music by my brother E.E. Left. And there's the remix version of my OG Pepe FU 96. All 3 of these pieces will be stakeable. You might be able to find some on the secondary market. Let's see. I noticed over here on the our Discord, we got the secondary sales feed. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? So many tabs. Hello, time. Here we go. Left House sales feed. Some people are already purchasing these the ones from the secondary market because this came out like probably 2 years ago. Farm cards are being sold. More board Pepes. Wax the tokens for the jackpot machine. A couple cards have been sold. Love it. Secondary market. Dummy Goo's been sold. Love it. I swear I saw some. Wait, maybe I got to go down. No, I swear I saw some. Damn, we've had some. Oh, there we go. There's the original Pepe drawing that I did back in 1996. Somebody purchased this for 39 wax. When? I mean, that's dope. They wanted to get in and start collecting their Pepe in the farm right away. There's the bubble. There's the bubble. The bubble's beautiful. Wait till you see it in action. So a few of these have been picked up for the price of 38.22 wax. If they would have just waited for the sale, I mean, I appreciate the sale, but like, you know, you could get it for 33 wax or however many zeros that is, this many Pepe. It's the equivalent of about 33 wax, maybe slightly cheaper. I don't know, depending on where the market's bouncing. Dummy Goo bottles still got some for sale. If you want to get in on the Dummy Goo Bear blending, you'll need a bottle to blend up. Let's see, where are we? 114 of these bad boys crafted. Beautiful. All of those can be staked inside the Pepe Art Farm. I have mint number 2. Let's do a little quick stake on it. Put the original in there. Okay, I got Pepe Art bubbles to give away. So we'll give one of those away right now. Let's see what else I'll give away. I'll stack these up. We'll stack it. You'll get a couple of NFTs at once here, babies and gentlemen. Oh, I've also got some Pepe Holder trait farm cards that you could stake too. Some extra ones that we can give away here. So for this first round, we'll give away a trait farm card, gifty link, and then we'll do a Pepe bubble too. Take them and stake them. All right. Let's get to the Ponderosa and do this right now. The old Ponderosa. All right. How many we got in there? We got 10 in to win. We got 16 million people watching the show right now. Appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in on a fine and fantastic Wednesday, which normally a Warsaken Wednesday. But like I said, I want to do things differently around here sometimes. And that conversation with Jacob was perfect. All right. Is everybody in to win? Vertical Doom Blades is what we're going to be doing here. Pick a side, stay alive. two stakeable cards and 2 different farms for the Pepe on Wax token for the winner of this round here of Vertical Doom Blades. Congratulations and good luck to the winner. Or congratulations to the winner. Good luck to you all. You guys are all legends of the Grubfish Pond. Legends of the Grubfish Pond. There's a tweet about everything. There's a tweet about everything. What am I talking about? This tweet. Do we have a winner? Recognize. He's done it. He's the winner. He is the winner. Oh, yeah. Okay, there it is. Let me find you over here, and I'll drop it into your Twisper. Your Twitch Whisper. What's I call a Twisper? Oh, my gosh. Wait a minute. That's not the link. That's a Twitter link. I got to confirm. Congratulations to you there, Recognize. You're getting yourself a extra trait farm card as well as a Pepe bubble. Coming your way right now. Did it go? Check your Whisper there. I'll make sure it's up in there. All right, let's open up the board again. Crittercraft Slide on, open up again. Let's get you guys up in there with that exclamation point Pepe right there in the old Twitter chat or Twitch chat. Maybe Twitch will change its name to Twitter now that Twitter's changed its name to X. Still says outgoing. What says outgoing? What are you guys talking about? I redeemed. Whoa, wait a minute. I redeemed a few goos on try roll. When? Today? Did I miss you? I haven't checked my email today. That's how it works. I get an email from try roll and then I got to execute it on my end. So do I owe you, Dangus? Do I owe you? It says outgoing. Still says outgoing. Recognize, did you got your that last package that I sent to you? One on the 26th. Okay, so I owe you 3 goos and 2 today. All right. All right, let's get some goos. Let's get some goos up in here. I think I got to mint some more actually. Let's do that really quick. Why don't we just do that as a family? I'll bring you guys into the fold here, the goo minting fold. Okie dokie, connecty. Connecting the dots. Go into creation. Create. All right, I owe Dangus 3 goos. Dangus 3 goos. What would we do with cat board? Dummy bears. Dummy bears. Dude, Sensei Bullraj pulls 2 Bryans today. 2 Bryans he pulled today. There's only 15 Bryans out there in the world to be pulled, and Sensei pulls 2 of them. Do you guys realize that Sensei is probably the number one mint holder of the Left House collection? I mean, he's got so many mint ones, it's redonkulous. How many Left House mint ones do you have, Sensei, if you are still here, in fact? Let's do another fitty goose. Let's do another fitty. Fitty goose out the bank. Back to back, baby. 2 Bryans. Back to back. That's insane. You've got Left House luck for certain. Nobody's got Left House luck like you do. Okay, so now can I go to my NFTs, and then I'm going to send all these to the giveaway wallet, and then I'll drop them on into your Whisper Twisper. 1, 2, 3. Am I gonna have to do this the whole? Can I select all bulk actions? No, that's not how it works. Okay, we're gonna just walk through this slowly. Oh my God. I don't have to do all 50 of them. I'll just send like 10 of them or 12 or whatever this many is. Okay. Bulk actions. List transfer NFTs, please. 2. Left giveaway. The Pepe board is wide open if you haven't entered in. I mean, the Grubfish board is wide open if you haven't entered in there. Get in there if you want to get in on there to swim there to win there to win there. You're gonna win some something you could stake for Pepe. Okay. All right, back to the giveaway wallet. Do a little refresh here. Let me get these up for you, Mr. Dangus. And since we've got more goo in the wallet, why don't we do throw a bottle of goo into this next giveaway too? We'll do the bubble. We'll do a farm card. We'll do a bottle of goo. I think I said that right. Okie dokie. Here comes a special drop for Uncle Dangus. If anybody else is purchasing goo bottles from the Try Roll site right now, let me know. While I'm here live, I'll make you a package, but don't lie to me. Don't lie. I'll know. I could pull it up right now. Dangus, there he is. All right, check your whisper, Sir Dangus McGangus. You've got 3 goos. 3 goos. Goo, goo, goo. All right. Back on into, I'll grab 2 right now. All right. I'll trust you. I'll pull it up right now. Just in the background so I can see. I got to refresh here. Back-to-back Bryans. That's pretty good. That's pretty good numbers. Pretty insane. All right, so this is going to take a second. For some reason, the activity and responses list is taking its time to load up on here for some reason. All right, you guys are all in it to win it. Let's push the button. 16 in. We're going to do an explosion round. That's enough for an explosion round. Exclamation point explosion will get you to explode. Good luck. Good luck, everybody. Wait, what was that, Captain? I missed it. I didn't know the photos thing were for, and nor do I work with ETH or whatever. The honey was on, so I got goo. I'm not understanding what you're saying there, but did you buy honey by accident instead of the goo? Honey is going to be for a later time on a different chain. All right, let's see who won that round there. Reek Noise, you are on fire today. You are the winner. Hello, boo-boo. Yeah, take it. Take it. All right, Reek Noise again for the win. You're the champion of the day, my friend. Check your whisper. You got some new goose. You got some another bubble. You got another farm card. Let's reset the game again. We're gonna play 3 more rounds. 3 more rounds, and of course we'll be back Friday for the release of the My OG Pepe FU96. We'll do a little show on Friday as well. Give some more stuff away. Buzz, I saw you. We had your collection when I had the Nefty on the screen there. I was right on your collection. I was blending up some of your corgis, and I like some of the epic ones, the ones that I blended for. Pretty sick. Okay. Let me get a gifty link here, or goo was in there. Another farm card. Another Pepe bubble. Why not? Why not? Gifty link. 10 in to win. If we can get up to around 16, 15 again, we'll do an explosion round. Explosion round. All right. So 3 more rounds right here. This will be the third to last. Okie dokie. 11 in. Is that all we're doing? 12's in. 12's in to win. 12's in to win. I came to win. Battle me. That's sin. All right. Real quick, too, you guys. If you interact with this Twitter bot right here, it said we need to get over 15 comments, 15 retweets, 15 likes. We've done it. Almost. Done it on the likes. One more repost. 3 more comments, and everybody that does will get some Pepe tokens. Will be dropped on your head. Okay. 15 in to win. That means we're doing an explosion round. Let's go explosion style. All right. And exclamation point, exclamation, whatever. You know the deal. Explode. Good luck. Dangus McGangus, there I see you. Oh, wait. We got somebody else that went in here, too. Oh, Slayer. Slayer, I owe you a goo. Is Slayer here today? I don't see him. Down to the end. This is the end. I think you sent me the Dangus leak. Was 3 good? Oh, shit. And claimed by the link was claimed by. Okay, I sent you the wrong one. Okay, shit. Let me sort that out. All right, so you didn't claim it. Dangus claimed it, right? Dangus, you got your goose? Make sure we get that right. Okay, well, let's see who won. Sorry, so much stabbing right now. Oh, shizer, we got a 2-way tie. We got to go to the San Anita racetrack. But before we go to the racetrack, let me figure this out. All right. Well, I'll send you this one here, the one that I just made, because it's essentially the same setup, right? Rekick noise. Okay, I'm lost. I'm back. All right, Rekick noise. Check. Oh, shit. It's the wrong linky. 1 second. Okay, check your whisper now. You should be good to go. And I'll check after the show for the ones that I didn't send. Okay, so I need to make a new linky now. Goo. Ooh, Action Turkey Pets going in their turkey bubble. We're just raising the stakes here now. 4 NFTs in this next for the winner of this San Anita race. All right, let me pull this up here. Let me pull up the old racetrack. A 2-horse race. Okay. I'm all groovy. Good. All right, everybody is good. Everybody is good. So now we can go to the racetrack. And we got to put in 2 names. We got to put in Tataki and the Buzz. Tataki and Buzz King. This is going to be a beautiful race. All right, 33 seconds. The horses are set at the line. Buzz King and Tataki, 2 of the fastest horses ever to grace the presence here at the old San Anita racetrack. The music is turned off, and here we go. On your mark, get set, go. And they're off. Buzz King and Tataki are nose to nose, neck and neck, leg to leg, limb to limb, and here they go right down the green. 20 seconds left in this race as Tataki pulls out by a head, striving to be the best horse racer in the business, but Buzz King isn't having it. Now he's got his nose stuck out with 10 seconds left to go in this race as Tataki seems to fall off the screen with 5 seconds left to go. It's down the stretch to the last 3 seconds. They both put on the gas, but Tataki seems to want it more. Crossing the line, victory, Tataki. Congratulations there. What a victory. Nice race by both of you horsemen there. Let's drop this prize right in your whisper there, Taki. Okay, dokie. Dropping it like it's hot right there in the whisper. We've got 2 more rounds of Crittercraft to play before we end the show here. The board is wide open. Go ahead and start hitting exclamation point play right now. And that's how we do things around here when we need to solve a tie. We solve a tie at the San Yanita racetrack. And that's the way we do things around here. It's all good. No worries. Okay. You should have your links. Everybody should be squared away. All righty then. Let me clear this one off the board. We're going to need a new one. Let's get this Ponderosa filled like you're doing. We'll do the same little batch of 4 here. 4 NFTs on the line here. Turkey Action Pet, Pepe Bubble, BPWC Holders card, and a bottle of Dummy Goo is on the board. Are you guys ready? I only see 9 in to win. Maybe people don't like Pepe token. Maybe that's your problem. Maybe it's not mine. But it's time to get on in there. And if we're going to do it at these numbers, we're going to have to do it. We got 23 billion people watching, and only half have entered in to win Pepe token. I don't understand it. Beautiful NFTs that will get you staked up in Pepe farms. 3 different Pepe farms out there to be stakeable in right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a joke. I love that I'm seeing some of the Pepe farm cards on the secondary market. It's cool seeing people buying them in that way too. Just puts more secondary market sales into the secondary market sales, 50% access to you holders each month, the airdrop that goes out, which I believe has also gone out since it's the first. Don't quote me on that because I have not talked to my boy yet today to make sure that's true. All right, 15 in it to win it. Sounds good to me. I guess we can explode. You guys ready to explode? I am. I'm just got to find where the mouse is on the board. On your mark, get set, get ready. 16 in. Somebody squeezed in there at the last second. Good for you. Exclamation point explosion or explode. Yep, you guys know it. I'm going to shut up. Go. Explode. Good luck. I'm going to go ahead and put the pack together while you guys are killing each other for NFTs. Stop the war, don't know what it's for. Business. Ooh, nice big fireworks show there. Thank you guys for all exploding, doing your best. Okay, and we have to get the link made, and that winner is Hot Rod Piper, the rowdy one. The rowdy one, congratulations here. I want you to do yourself solid here on this fine, fantastic hump day. Why don't you scroll up to the right-hand side of the screen? Where'd you go? Scroll up to the right-hand side of your screen there and wait for the numbers to change. Okay, you can check your whisper now. Okay, beautiful. Prizes delivered. Last game of the day here. Let's make this one count. Let's get you guys in. Let's get you guys in there with the exclamation point Pepe. Get you on the board for the final countdown. Oh, yeah. What a hell of a day. What a hell of a conversation we had here with the lovely Jacob. I'm not going to say his last name because I can't remember it or how to pronounce it. And I don't want to butcher it. But if you go back into the episode, you'll see it there on the screen. Okay, 12 in to win here. Last giveaway of the day. Let me load you up with some NFTs, boys and girls. We'll do the 4-pack again. I like this 4-pack. All right, Dummy Goo, Pepe Bubble, Action Family Turkey Pets, and BPWC Holders card. 15 in to win. I'm not going to wait any longer unless I need to. Okay, that 16th is in there. Boom, the button has been pushed. Explosion. Exclamation point explode. I don't think I can talk anymore. All right, get this gifty link together while you guys kill each other in the Ponderosa. Again, my OG Pepe FU 96 pack, 3-pack will come out for sale on Friday for Pepe or Wax. Can't beat that with a baseball bat. All right, we're down to the end of it. We're down to the end. 3 swimmers left, just taking their sweet ass time, forgetting to hit exclamation point explode. But that's okay. Sometimes that's how the game is played. All right, let's see who the winner is. Or are we, in fact, at a tie? Need to go to the Santa Anita racetrack again? Hell no. Buzz King says, I will take this one. I'll take this one to the bank and smoke it. So congratulations to you, Buzz. There you are. Good game, everybody. Good explosion times there. And check your whisper there. You've been delivered. Signed, sealed, and delivered. And we'll go check who's out there in the world of Raiders. The Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh, lots of people today. Wednesday's a big stream day, I guess. This is like prime time back in the 90s when you'd watch The Cosby Show. I don't remember what else was on, but you wanted to be home for Thursdays back when I was a child. Okay, Exotic MTG playing big time. Las Vegas Ape playing some Fortnite. Corin Campbell just chatting. Custom TV big time. And Prime Rogue talk shows and podcasts. That's probably just his bot man. Anybody here have a preference? Shout it out. If you don't, I'll probably slide into Las Vegas Ape since he's a dope dude, and he's also streamed into or rated into us many, many, many times. So anybody have a problem with that? No? Good. Here we go. Ape it is. We got Wax Pothead saying ape it is. Here we go. Ape it up, says Dangus McGangus. Thank you guys so much. I love all of you guys for hanging out with me and Jacob. I wish you guys all the best. You guys are my best friends, and I will talk to you guys on Friday. Peace out. Be lovely. Be real. Be silly. Okay, we're out of here.